In this video, we will guide you through the process of instructing a computer to display graphics on the screen, specifically focusing on the fundamentals of raster graphics. So what does the computer actually know about this process? Well, a computer is essentially a data powerhouse, primarily utilizing bits to store and manipulate information. In the context of graphics, it holds detailed data about every pixel on the screen. For each pixel's color, the computer retains the values of three variables, red, green, and blue, to efficiently manage and store information for countless pixels. The computer employs arrays. Specifically, it uses a 2D array which can be thought of a grid of variables. This 2D grid possesses both length and width, and which determines its dimensions. With this array, you can access the data for any pixel by specifying its position using x and y coordinates within the array. These coordinates allow you to pinpoint a specific variable, providing you with precise control over the color and the appearance of individual pixels on the screen.
Now we will walk you through the process of creating your very first graphic using p5.js, a user-friendly platform for those who are new to programming and computer graphics. We will begin with the pixel statement, which allows us to change the color of a pixel at a specific location. Imagine a grid of pixels, like a matrix with rows and columns. Think of it as a 6 by 5 grid, which means it has 6 columns and 5 rows. Each pixel has a unique address defined by its x and y coordinates. The top left pixel is at 00 and the bottom right pixel is at 54. Remember that we start counting at 0 in programming. Now in p5.js there is a handy function called get that allows us to access and modify the color of a specific pixel. The get function requires three inputs x, y, and z. X represents the horizontal position indicating which column the pixel is in. Y represents the vertical position specifying which row the pixel is in. C stands for color and it's where you specify the color you want to change the pixel to. With this function you have the power to change the color of any pixel on the screen to whatever you desire. To use this function, you need to use the load pixels function before it and the update pixel functions after it. The p5.js interface consists of two main components. The text editor is where you write your instructions and the canvas is where you get your output. To execute the code, press the play button at the top left. The rect and fill statements. These two elements are like your artistic brush and palette in the digital world. First, let's talk about the rect statement. The word rect is short for rectangle, which is one of the most fundamental shapes in computer graphics. When you use the rectangle statement, you're instructing the computer to draw a rectangle on the screen. You'll define its position, dimensions, and other properties to make it look just the way you want. The first two inputs of this function are the x and y values for its position. The next two values define its width and height respectively. Now let's discuss the fill statement. Just like in traditional painting, fill determines the color that will fill your shape. You can specify this color by providing RGB values. This allows you to unleash your creativity and make your graphics as colorful as you like. But this color is a bit different from what we used earlier. Instead of using a decimal point value between 0 and 1, we use an integer value between 0 and 255. This can be achieved easily by multiplying the decimal value by 255. Say you want to create a blue rectangle on the canvas. You write the fill statement first to define the color of your rectangle. In this case, it will be 0 for red and green and 255 for blue, which makes it completely blue. Then we write the rectangle statement. For drawing the rectangle, we define its x and y position and its width and height. Note that in the canvas, the top left has a coordinate of 0, 0. You can try out other different values by going to https://editor.p5.js.org. Link in description. Now that we've covered the basic concepts of rectangle and fill statements, let's dive into the syntax of p5.js. Don't worry if you're new to programming, we'll break it down into easy to follow steps. Step number 1. Setting up the canvas. As you can see, the program is divided into two main components: function setup and function draw. First, we need to create a canvas where our graphics will be displayed. In p5.js, this is done using the setup function. Here, function means that this function only affects the canvas and does not return any data. The word setup is written with two empty round braces. The setup function starts from this bracket at the top and ends with the curly bracket at the bottom. In this code, create canvas specifies the dimensions of your canvas, which you can customize by replacing width and height with your preferred values. For example, create canvas 400 300 creates a canvas that is 400 pixels wide and 300 pixels tall. Step number 2. Drawing on the canvas. To draw something on the canvas, we use the draw function. This function is executed repeatedly, which makes it perfect for creating animations or interactive graphics. It is also contained within two curly braces. As you can see, we use the fill statement to set the color blue in this case and the rectangle statement to draw the rectangle at specific coordinates and dimensions. The background function fills the whole canvas with a specific color to empty it, like using the black color. Step number 3. Running your program. To see all your masterpiece in action, all you need to do is open your browser and load your HTML file containing the p5.js code. You will see your canvas and the draw function will continuously refresh the screen, creating your graphic. That is the essence of p5.js. It is beginner friendly and offers a simple way to get started with computer graphics. Step number 4. Exploration. Now that you have understood the basics, it's time to explore and unleash your creativity. Experiment with different functions and statements that p5.js offers, and you'll soon find yourself creating stunning graphics and interactive animations. You can learn new functions through the p5.js documentation, link in description below. Remember, programming is like any other skill. Practice makes you perfect. The more you experiment, the more proficient you'll become. In the next part of the series, we'll walk you through the process of drawing vector graphics and converting them into raster graphics. So stay tuned for more exciting and adventures in the introduction of computer graphics. We hope that you find this useful and thank you